everybody, I'm Christine Deaton and this is my Cooking Nooks Fed Up, fast, easy, and delicious. How are you today? And thank you so much for joining us. Wow, I've got some great stuff cooking in this kitchen today. We are doing a fast, easy, and delicious Italian meatball soup. Really, I can do this fast. We also have a lemon ricotta, however you want to say it, Cool Whip pie. Wait till you see that. I have a delicious lemon mint water, like a spritzy water drink. And so, you know what? We got to get going. First of all, I want to show you who's in the house today. My daughter Elizabeth is here, and believe it or not, my son-in-law Bobby is joining us today. This probably won't happen again, but hello, Bobby. How are you? What a shock. And of course, Chris is behind the camera.
I'm here, and we have Mary Halsey with us.
Well, hello, everybody that's out there already. We appreciate that. Hey, listen, we want you guys to tell us you're out there. Elizabeth's on the phone. Chris is going to be manning. So when you're out there, just give a little howdy, hello, a hi, a little whatever sign so we can say hi back to you. Okay, what I need to do is we're going to do the dessert right now because I want to get that in the freezer because that is something that's going to come out later. Yummy, yum. And again, it's lemon ricotta, Cool Whip pie. How do those things go together? Well, I'm going to show you. Okay.
We have Vicki watching with us today, too.
Vicki! Hey, girl in Indiana. How are you, dear? I'm glad you're here today, Vicki. My granddaughter Vicki out there. Okay, so I think this is going to be more filling than I need for my pie. So don't ever waste stuff like that because you can get creative later today and make an amazing cupcake or whatever, and I'll tell you about that. Okay, I have 2 cups of just the low, the skim milk ricotta, however you want to say that. We are going to put a whole tub, which is an 8-ounce tub, of Cool Whip. If you don't want to say Cool Whip and use a brand name, it's just the whipped topping. Okay, so we need the whole little tub of that. Okay.
So Dottie, yes. He says hello, everyone.
Hello, Dottie. Hey, Dottie, I got your card, girl. Thank you so much. That was very, very, very sweet. I want to show everybody the cute card that Dottie sent me with all kinds of little stickers inside, and it says you're the greatest, Gratest. I loved your card, Dottie, and thank you so much for doing that.
Vicki says hi, you doing good. And then Judy Reynolds is with us. She says hi,
Judy.
Christine.
How are you, Judy? Thank you for tuning in all the time. Hey, everybody that's out there, we need 17 more people to like and subscribe our YouTube channel because the cookbook should be here any day. And we've already got tons of orders for the cookbook, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but we've got to get to that 100 mark. I would like that to happen by the end of today. So, if you know somebody that can just go to YouTube for a minute, okay? They don't have to look at my episodes right now. I want them to.
They'll want to, though.
They'll want to, but I want them to go and like and subscribe so that we can get to that 100 mark, because that was my goal, to get the cookbooks out there. And because I know so many of you want the cookbook, we got to get to that 100, so I'm really telling you guys, you got to help us.
So your mother says, hi, my sweet girl.
Hello,
Lisa and I
Mother.
are watching. You look great. Love you.
Love you too, Mom. I miss you. How's Nebraska doing there? I think you're having a blast, and I'm very happy for you. Okay, let me show you what I got going on here. So I've got the tub of Cool Whip in there, and I've got the 2 cups of ricotta cheese. Okay, let's add half a cup of sugar, some lemon zest, probably maybe a tablespoon of lemon zest, and I'm going to save that for later, and I'll show you why. I have 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I always cheat a little bit and put more vanilla because I love the taste of vanilla. Right, guys? Vanilla's always
I always
good.
do a little extra.
And then I'm going to put a tablespoon. This is fresh squeezed lemon. Come on over here, Chris. When I was grating my lemons, I just sliced them in half and over a little strainer. You know, you don't want any of the seeds to go in. So I just went ahead and I got out all this juice, which was a pretty good amount of juice. But I found another trick out today. Now, in my cookbook, I tell you, if you want to get a lot of juice out of a fruit, okay, you're going to juice a lemon, an orange, a grapefruit, whatever you're going to, squeeze for juice. So what I did, after I zested it, now it's soft, okay? And it made for such easy squeezing. So zest it, even if you're not going to use the zest, which use the zest, but even if you're not going to use the zest, when you take that zest off, you really can squeeze. So there's a tip in the kitchen. All right, let's get this mixed up.
So Dottie says she's glad that you liked the card.
I loved it. I thought it was so cute. That's one of those things, Dottie, that now I'll save forever, probably. So, and I do things like that because those kinds of things mean a whole lot to me. And so that will be a treasure of mine. And so I want to thank you for that. That was very, very, very kind of you. Okay, guys, guess what? I'm ready to put my filling. See how easy that was? I'm ready to put my filling. It's almost a cream cheesy, kind of a lemon cheesecake kind of filling. Okay? Except we're not baking anything. All we're going to do is fill up. And this is a ready-made shortbread crust. Can you make your own pie crust? Absolutely. But in Fed Up, we got to do everything fast. This is the way I'm doing it. Okay, let's get the pie filling in because this is going to go in the freezer for just until the end of the show. Okay, just to make it set. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing there, Chris.
We can.
Okay. Look at how pretty. Oh, I'm dripping on the floor. You know how I feel about messes, guys. Yeah, that'll drive me crazy, but that's okay. I'll get over it.
Dottie just said, I'm so glad Mary Halsey introduced me to your show.
Me too. Thank you, Mary, who I think was out there too right now.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. We really appreciate Mary did bring a lot of people to our table, and we want everybody to know that you're invited to our table too. So just get on every Wednesday at 1 o'clock Branson time, whatever that means to you guys, and we just have fun, food, family fun. What more could you want out of a cooking show, Elizabeth? I'm going to ask you to put this in the freezer out there. Okay. Just find a place for that. I think Pam made a nice flat area to set that in. Put the lid down, and we'll get to that later.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now I am not going to clean this up because look, I've got some, and I will probably make some kind of a cupcake later and fill it with that cream in the middle. Holy ham. Okay, I've also got some lemon slices that's going to go on top. And I have a little bit of fresh mint going to go on top. So, see, cake's not done, pie's not done yet. Okay, I'm also going to save the zest, and I'm going to save the lime juice, because you never know. And I am going to sprinkle it a little bit with powdered sugar, because I love powdered sugar, confectionery sugar, or whatever you want to call it. Yes?
Dottie says that
Yes.
I should take a sneak of the taste out of that bowl.
Oh, yeah.
I
Go
think
ahead.
you're right, Dottie. My hands are clean, everybody, but I
They are
am
clean.
going
I
to...
make sure his hands
I
are
am
clean
gonna-
too in the kitchen. You can reverse that if you want.
That's okay. I'm not
What do you
really
think?
camera ready. That is delicious.
That is, of course, it's delicious.
And Dottie, thank you so much for the suggestion.
Okay, now, the thing that I did do this morning is I wanted to make fresh bread. So, out came my handy dandy bread machine, and in here, ta-da, I have an Italian bread. I'm going to tell you about that in a bit. It just went off about maybe 10 minutes ago. I timed that just right so that we have nice, hot, fresh Italian bread. And this kitchen, tell me about the kitchen, guys. What does it smell like?
It smells delicious.
Okay, now, soup. Soup is one of those things that usually, if you're making it from scratch, yes, you've got a
Well, I was just going to say, we've got Brandy. Let me look at that name again. Brandy Janelle is
Hello,
with us. Hello,
Brandy.
Brandy.
How are you?
And Walter Gilbert has joined
And
us.
Walter, how are you? Thank you for joining us today at my Cooking Nook's Fed Up, Fast, Easy, and Delicious. If you've never joined us before, welcome to my kitchen, and I hope you join us. this is our 38th show. We have 37 on YouTube. If you've not seen me, go back on YouTube to my Cooking Nook and check out any of my episodes. We've had a blast here. We have a great following, a huge following, and we welcome everybody and always tell people about us. Okay, now you guys know that you need to heat your pot. Heat it. I don't care what you're making, heat your pot. Okay? Now soup technically can take all day. You can boil a chicken, you can, there's a lot of steps. And in authentic Italian kitchens, like in my family, when Grandma or Mom was saying I'm going to make soup, we knew that it was an hour, not an hour, hours long process. Not in my kitchen. You guys know I have Meniere's disease. Standing is difficult for me. You'll see me lean a lot. You'll see me sway a lot. That's all part of the disease. But even with a disease, you still have to cook, and you still want to cook it good, right? I know that's my goal. So everything that I do is really out of necessity, because I've had to learn how to adapt everything in my life to make it fast. So that's what all this is about. So anybody out there with Meniere's, I know that I do have some people from the Meniere's website. Thank you for being here. And this, honestly, guys, was initially for you. But cooking fast sometimes anytime, is for a busy mom, a busy dad who needs to get in and out of the kitchen, feed the kids, because you got to go to this and that and the other thing. Kids are active and stuff. It's for anybody that either has a disability and can't be on their feet long, or you just have to get out of the kitchen quickly. That's what this is all about. Okay, my oil is heated. I've got a teaspoonful of minced garlic going in.
Mary Halsey says hello.
Hello, Mary Halsey. How are you, dear?
And then Dottie says, great cooking, Digger.
Thank you. That's class. Okay, going in, because I am sauteing my vegetables right away because they need time to cook. Okay, so what do I have? I have one good-sized onion. I have 2 carrots that I cut up. And I have 2 stalks of celery. Okay, and we are going to let that cook for a bit because the vegetables have to get soft, okay? And, you know, that takes a little bit of time. Now, let me explain. My soup today is Italian Meatbal Soup. Do you remember, anybody out there remember Chicorina soup? Campbell's Soup made Chicorina soup. And today I'm basically doing a Chicorina soup. Now, is it like Italian wedding cake? Yes. But let me tell you, not wedding cake, wedding soup. But yes, it is, except that in Italian wedding soup, there's still the meatballs and the aglio e pepe noodles and all this stuff. The biggest thing is the escarole, okay? Escarole, we looked it up actually, is in the family of radicchio. What was the?
It's a chicory. It's related to chicory. It's kind of bitter.
It's a spicier, kind of lettucey, like a leafy green vegetable that in an authentic Italian kitchen, those moms, those grandmas are making the wedding soup with the meatballs, okay? But they're adding escarole, okay? This is not the wedding soup, okay? This is just an Italian meatball soup. So the thing that's not going to be in it is the escarole, okay? I am doing my veggies. These are very aromatic. Come on over here. Very aromatic vegetables, okay? And a lot of times, especially in an Italian soup, this is your basis, okay? You've got your onions, your carrots, your celery. I remember growing up, my mom had always made great chicken soup. She still does. And there was always these 3 ingredients to start the soup. And the garlic, of course. You can't have too many Italian meals without garlic. Okay? Oh, see the onions now. I don't know if you can see that, Chris. Come on over. They're starting to get translucent. You can see that? Okay, that's exactly what we want. Now, I'm going to let that cook for a second, and I'm going to show you our little stars of the day. Okay? These are little baby meatballs. Okay, let me get the paper off so I can show you. Look, meatballs. Okay, here we go. So, I had 1 pound of ground turkey. Yes, you can do this with ground beef. You can do this with a mix of ground pork and beef. You know, whatever you like. You can do ground chicken. Whatever your family likes. It's not like you have to do it this way. Mine is ground turkey. So that I can eat it. Imagine that. So I had 1 pound of ground turkey. I had 1 cup of my Italian style breadcrumbs. Right here. I did about a tablespoon and a half of my garlic salt, the California blend, low sodium. That's the stuff that I use because we really can't, Meniere's cannot have salt, a lot of salt. So I do other things to substitute for the salt. I've got a lot of parsley in there because I love parsley, and I like the looks of the parsley in it. Now, am I going to fry and brown every one of those meatballs? No. But what I am going to do is, look at this. This is beautiful. Come over here and see.
So Emily is joining us. She says hello, Mom.
Hello, Emily. How are you feeling, dear?
Says, hi, everyone. I'm here.
Who's this?
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie. Hi, girl. How are ya? Thank you for being here today. Okay, so I am not going to fry and brown every meatball. What we are going to do is we are basically, you put them in the way they are, raw, and you poach them. That's what's going to happen with the meatballs. You're going to put them in your broth, and you're going to let them cook for about 10 minutes. They poach just like poaching an egg in water, okay? It's the same process, and the meat cooks right in. And when that's happening, that flavor just infuses through the soup, and it is delicious.
You mean you don't have your skillet out today?
I don't have my skillet out today. No, I do not. Okay, guys and girls, it's time to put my broth in here. If I can open it. I got it. Okay, now, how much am I putting in? This is a 48-ounce container of the chicken broth, low sodium. Low sodium. For one thing, if you use the regular chicken broth, I can tell you it's going to be too salty. Okay, you don't want to do that. So use the low sodium anyway. Even if you like salt, you can always add salt. But if you start with high salt content, there's nowhere to put it. It's there. It's done. It ain't going nowhere. Okay? And this turns out to be about 6.5 cups. I'm doing the whole thing. Here we go. In there, 6.5 cups of low sodium chicken broth going in the pot. Look at all that beautiful vegetable stuff, all that stuff floating around in this great broth. And I'm telling you, I've used other broths, but I have to put a shout out to Swanson's. This is their brand. The Swanson's chicken broth, 33% low sodium, no MSG. I can't have MSG. This is perfect, guys, and it tastes delicious. And I've even added that to like cans of tomato soup, whatever. If you add that, if you're making like a chicken cacciatore, or you're making chicken and dumplings, whatever, use that. Okay. Now, oh, I just spilled some. Okay, so I have 2 cups of water. I'm going to add a little more because someone on my counter. It happens. So all together, guys, you're going to you need no less. Let me wipe my mouth. No less than 8 cups of liquid for this. Okay, no less than 8 cups. So what am I going to do now? Okay, I am going to let this simmer. Okay, I want the veggies to cook just for a few minutes. Okay, I'm going to put this on about 5-6 minutes. Okay, there it goes. And then we're going to take the bread out and see how amazing that is. I'm telling you, the smell in this kitchen since this bread has been cooking has been, Chris kept saying, man, this kitchen smells good. What is that smell? Well, it's the bread, man. It's so good. Let me turn it this way so I can open it. Just look at the bread right there.
I've been waiting for this all day.
Who's out there? Who's talking?
We've got Mackenzie with us, and of course Mary Halsey's still on, and they were sending their love.
Thank you so much, you guys. Hey, let me tell you what's went in to the bread machine today. If you don't have a bread machine, holy cow, get one. They're so good, and you can make like white bread. You can make gluten-free bread. You can make pumpkin breads. You can make any kind of bread that you can imagine. There's all different settings on top, right up here, okay? And you can look, Chris, look, they have basic and quick and sweet, French, whole wheat, rye, potato. I mean, there's all kinds there's 19 different ways to cook bread 19 different settings and all that stuff. So for now, I just did an Italian bread. So what did I put? I'm going to tell you all the ingredients. I'm going to just read them to you. I had a cup and 3 tablespoons of lukewarm water. That's really important when you're making bread so that the yeast rises. 2 3/4 cups of flour, not flowers, I don't know about that. Okay, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1½ teaspoons of salt, 1½ teaspoons of Italian seasoning, very important, 2 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese, and I had 4 little squares of butter, 4 tablespoons of butter that went in on the sides, and then of course you put 1 tablespoon of yeast, and you do your setting. I did it on a basic setting. You even get to choose how dark you want the top. When you press start, you don't do another thing except take it out and eat it. And that's what's going to happen next with this, okay? So it's very, very easy. And there you go. And it's a beautiful little, solid loaf, okay? This is only a 1½ pound loaf. You can make bigger loaves, okay? But it was just us today. I made a 1½ pound loaf. And I'm telling you, the smell of this bread.
I think you should have made a bigger one.
You do? I just made, are you kidding me? I probably should, knowing you know what? You're right. I should have made a bigger loaf because I know you with bread. What was I thinking? Okay, you know me, guys, clean as you go. Here we go to the trash.
We're going to go back and check out the soup.
Okay, hey, Bobby. Bobby's here today. Let's see Bobby for a minute.
Where's Bobby? Up, he's sitting over there
This
waiting
is my
for lunch.
son-in-law. This is Elizabeth's husband. And Bobby has been in my kitchen many times, but not for my cooking show. So, hello.
How's it going?
You know, he's a very hard-working man. He usually doesn't have Wednesdays off. I'm not sure what that's all about, but I'll talk to you about that in a minute. But anyway, for whatever reason, Bobby's off today. I'm sure he has something to do because the man never takes off. And so it's nice to have Bobby here today. Now, Bobby, I hope you like soup. Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a good thing because that's what we're having. Okay? So it's a good thing you like soup.
Elizabeth,
Okay.
are you catching those comments back there?
I am.
Let's see
Well,
what it is.
Donnie's laughing. And then Vicky says, that sounds so good, might make that bread for us tonight.
Do you have a bread machine, Vicki? Because I don't know how to
And
make
then
otherwise.
Donnie says, hello, Bobby. And then Vicky says, hey, I know that guy.
Surprise, surprise, Vicki.
And then Mackenzie's saying hi to us. Hello, Mackenzie. How you doing?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's talk about the cookbooks while the soup is doing its thing. So they should be here from the presses any day, like literally any day. I expect they'll be here maybe Friday. So we've had lots of people order the cookbook. They're $18 and that includes your tax. The only thing it doesn't include, if you're not local, it doesn't include shipping and handling. And I can't tell you shipping and handling until I have a book and a weight. Okay? So that's the holdup on that. But I can assure you it will be the very lowest that we can get it because we want to send, I mean, some people are ordering 5 and 6 and 7 books. So, you know, I don't want to, you know, have this crazy charge of shipping and handling. So we're going to try to do like flat rate kind of things for you guys. But the cookbook turned out great. Yeah, I'm so excited about it. There's so much in it. And I did it through Morris Cookbooks, and they did a great job with it, which I will definitely be using them again for 2nd edition, 3rd edition, Christmas edition, whatever. Okay? So, if you want to order a book, you can either tell us now. Elizabeth's on the manning the phones, and you can say, hey Elizabeth, I would like a cookbook. Then we will get with you and get your address. I'm going to need a physical address, and we're going to need your email address for sure. For if nothing else today, if you're ordering, you tell Elizabeth your email address so we can get in touch with you. Okay?
So Vicky says she does not have a bread machine, but she's going to try to figure out the oven stuff.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sure really you could probably do the same. I can even take a picture of this and send this to her and use the same thing and put it in the oven. I'm sure you can.
So Mackenzie says, yay, the cookbook. She wants to.
Okay. Thank you, Mackenzie. Write that down, Elizabeth. We appreciate that. And so we are going to be doing, once I get this cookbook going, then I will start writing my next one, because we have so many recipes that I can't even tell you. I have enough recipes right now with just what we did this season so far on the show. I have another whole cookbook that I can do, okay? And remember that I have recipes, menus, till the end of the year, and already starting for next year. Now, that's the other thing I want to talk to you guys about. Well, this is almost to the point where I can start dropping my meatballs. So, see, it's an easy day today, so I get to chat with you guys. I'm so excited about that. So, okay, we need to get 17 more people to go to YouTube today, My Cooking Nook, and like and subscribe. You don't have to do anything else. But if you know anybody that gets online, I need them to go to YouTube, to My Cooking Nook, and just like and subscribe us so that we get to that 100. That was the goal. And I'm still trying to meet that goal before I actually start putting those cookbooks out there to you. Okay? I need 17 more people. So get me some help out there and get that done for me. Call your friends and tell them to do that. Call anybody that hasn't done it yet and tell them to please get on YouTube, My Cooking Nook, and like and subscribe. Then, if they want to watch all the shows, they can, because this is number 38. Okay.
Mackenzie said, is that bread recipe in the cookbook, because she
That
has
one-
a bread machine?
That one is not, but I can send her, I can take a picture of the recipe and send that to her if she'd like that. Okay. This is coming to a nice soft boil, okay? And I am going to start dropping my little meatballs in there. And really, like I said, guys, you don't have to cook them prior, okay? They actually cook right in the broth. There's a lot of meatballs, but that's okay.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I said last week that when we used to have chikorina soup, or my mom made this when we were little, all of us, 5 kids, we'd eat the meatballs first, because that was like the treat in these. And again, I prepared these little baby meatballs, and they're about an inch in diameter, okay? You don't want them any bigger than this, okay? They would, where was I going? Okay, so we would eat all the meatballs first. But anyway, yes, preparing these. I did them just like I was going to make a big meatball, okay? With my Italian style breadcrumbs and garlic salt. And, you know, you have to put 1 egg when you're making a meatloaf. You need that binder, okay? Meatloaf, meatball, same thing. I use the same basic recipe. And it really is the same recipe for me, because I always use 1 pound of meat. Now, if I'm, you know, a bigger group of people, then yeah, I'm going to use another different. Hey, look at this. You can already see. Look at how beautiful. See, they poach like right away. This is what happens. This is so beautiful.
So, question.
Excuse me for getting excited.
I have
about
a
my
question about
Yes.
the meatballs.
Yes.
So, if you have, say, 2 pounds of meatballs that
Yes.
you're doing, do you
Yes.
do an egg per pound
Yes.
to bind it? Okay.
1 egg per pound. Always, always, always. I don't care what kind of meat you use. It's 1 egg per pound. And then, of course, you got to be careful about doubling, like the garlic salt and stuff like that. You really kind of have to see. You know this. I've worked with ground turkey for so long that I just know how to manage the meat. You know what I'm saying? And so I wouldn't, like, if you're gonna do 2 pounds of ground turkey for a meatloaf, I wouldn't do 3 tablespoons of garlic salt. Maybe push it up to 2 tablespoons instead of 1.5, or you know, like that. Because then that would become very, very garlicky. And you know, you've got little kids and they might go, yeah. My babies probably wouldn't want that. Look, guys, come here. Just, Chris, I want everybody to see this. Look at those meatballs. Mom, are you still out there? Is Mom still out there with Lisa?
I'm sure she's on.
I'm sure they are.
I just have to, I'm gonna keep moving these around because I want to make sure all these meatballs are getting down there, and they're doing their thing. They're doing it really, really well. Remember, this is similar to an Italian wedding soup, but the biggest difference, and when we read up on it, they were like, if you don't use escarole, it's not wedding soup.
That's right.
Okay, the other thing that I'm going to tell you about this particular soup. Today I'm making it really like the chikorina soup. But after I put the broth in, after I did the vegetables and they got nice and soft and everything, and then I put the broth in and I put the water, at that point, if you wanted, let me drop these in there and I can show you.
So,
go ahead.
your mother just said, "I'm here, honey. What is it?"
Well, I mean, Mom, do you remember, obviously you remember chikorina soup, right? And I remember as a kid, my mom made like the best chicken soup ever, right? Ever. And so, Mom, do you remember, well, I'm sure you do, like starting from scratch and how long it actually took you to make a pot of soup? Can you kind of think back and say, well, you make soup, but I think you two take shortcuts.
And while Fran's getting our answer to us
Yes.
there, we have Jeanette Jess with us.
Hello,
is on.
Jeanette.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for being here today. We appreciate that very, very much. We are making our Italian meatball soup today. And everybody out there, you're going to be seeing, in my cookbook, I have 10 different soups. And in the next few weeks, you're going to see, I think, 4 of those. Because it's fall. And this is when my menu changes up and I start doing things like this. Chris, look at this. Just, you know, this is going to be here for 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes for that to cook. Okay, and when the thing is, when the meatballs are just about done, like right at about 8 minutes, I'm going to put in my agina pepe. Okay. Now, if you look at the box, it says, it looks like acini de pepe. We call it agina pepe. Okay, that's what we call it.
Okay, so
Yes.
Jeanette says, "I've never made a meatball soup." And then Vicky says, "If I wasn't hungry, I sure am now." And then Mima said, "Yes, I do. At least 2 hours cooking, not preparing."
At least 2 hours. Where this soup, which in an Italian kitchen, would probably take many hours. We're going to have this done in probably 30 minutes. Is that amazing? Mm-hmm. But that's what happens in my kitchen. My sister said, she said to me, just let people know, and she actually, a couple of times she's been here and she actually was my camera person at one point, and she said, you guys out there can challenge me. If you have a dish that usually takes you a really long time and you need it to go in preparation time and it comes out with the integrity of the meal and everything, she said, give it to Christine. Because I had to, out of necessity, I've had to take everything and condense my time because I do get very wobbly. As a matter of fact, it's not funny at all. It's not funny. But when I go back, when Chris is editing the shows and everything, and I go back and I look, I'm all over the place. I am wobbly and everything, and it's like, that's the reason that I can't be in here very long, because I get more wobbly and falling into things more, and it's not funny at all, trust me. Those of us that suffer with this disease know it's really a horrible thing. So we have to adjust. We have to do things differently, and this is what I have to do. So, and like I said, in my mom's kitchen, in my grandmother's kitchen, like her mom and my great-grandmother, when they were doing stuff like this, it was hours and hours and hours in the kitchen. In my kitchen, I'm going to have a soup that takes many hours in about 30 minutes. So I'm very excited about that. Okay, I want to look at the bread while we're waiting, and I want to cut a slice. Now, how do I want to slice this? Let's do this.
I'm hoping that Dottie suggests I take a taste of that too.
Okay. We call that the heel, which is actually my favorite. All right, I'm going to let you take a bite of this. Actually, I'm going to give you a piece, and then I'm going to let Elizabeth and Bobby have some. Give it a try.
Ooh, nice and hot. Oh, it smells amazing.
Yeah. Let me know.
Oh, that's so good.
All right, guys, try this. Okay,
You're gonna
so
have to twist my arm.
there's Parmesan cheese in there, and parsley, and Italian seasoning, and stuff like that. Can you taste all those things?
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah, that's not going to sit around here long.
Okay, now that I've got that top off, I'm gonna cut it this way. So that we have bread to dip. That's one thing about in an Italian family, you always have to have bread to dip. Okay, that's what we do. We're big dippers. We go big dippers. Okay, so anybody out there, while we're waiting for my soup, which is beautiful, I'm gonna turn it down a little bit because it's gotta continue to poach, okay? But that's looking good and smelling. Holy cow, it's just, yeah. It's
So Dottie
amazing.
said, hey Chris, go for it, taste it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you
I
did?
did, and thank you. That's
She
amazing.
said, wait, can I taste it?
What's buzzing? That was a new sound. I don't know what that was. Okay, anyway, if you're out there and you have not ordered a cookbook right now, tell Elizabeth that you want one. Or you can go to My Cooking Nook's website, which is MCN for My Cooking Nook FED UP.biz. And you can go to, I have an actual page just for the cookbook. It's the cookbook store. And just go there. And then at the bottom of the page, you just fill out this little form. It goes to me, and then we'll contact you about, how many and all that good stuff. So that we have it all set up, so you can either order now while you're on the phone with us, or on the Facebook with us, or you can just go to the website later, and that's after you tell 20 people to order them. What is beeping? That's the weirdest thing. I've never heard that sound. Have you guys out there heard that sound? Because I don't know what that is.
So Dottie says the soup looks so good, and it smells delicious, Dottie.
It is my kitchen right now. Oh my gosh. It smells amazing. Okay, look at this beautiful bread, guys. Beautiful bread. Yeah. And it's going to be, a little butter, a little dipping. You don't even have to put butter. I like butter.
Yeah.
But you can just take the bread and just dip it right in the soup, and it would be amazing. Okay, so we have about a minute and a half, and then I'm going to add my agine bepe. That's going to take only about less than, about 9 minutes, maybe less. And then our soup is done. Now, I'm going to go get my pie. Look at the soup. Let me get the pie.
Okay. So Dottie says, who's beeping?
I don't know. I think it's the bread machine. Obviously.
Yeah, that's looking tasty, folks. And I got to tell you, the bread's amazing. This is one of the times I am very, very glad that we do this show.
And then
One of the times
Well,
he's
always.
asking if you're going to sign the cookbooks.
I can. Now my sister told me you need to have your, another $1 or $2 to have it signed, but I don't know about that. I don't
There's
feel right
that
about
pie.
And then
There's my pie.
Dottie just said, hey Chris, sneak another piece.
Okay.
Hey, we also have Lucy, I think it's Jasso.
Hello, Lucy.
Yes, Lucy
Thank you
Jessup.
for joining us today. Hey, right now on the stove, I have my Italian meatball soup, which is a 30-minute version of a very long processed soup in an Italian kitchen. I've also made lemon ricotta pie, however you want to say that. And I just put a little bit of the lemon zest on top. I'm going to put lemons right on top. Okay, we don't need this little baby, so he goes in my drink. Never waste food. Okay, and then right in the middle, and then I'm going to stick it back in the freezer so that by the time this comes out, it's just absolutely ready to go. A little tiny sprig of mint right there on top.
Dottie just,
Look at
Dottie
that.
said, that pie looks so good, and Emily just said, I want a piece of pie.
Okay, there's my
Oh my
pie.
goodness.
Beautiful, yes?
Yes.
I'm going to put it right in this freezer so we're ready to go. By the time the soup is ready to go, we are ready to go eat. Oh, yes, the other thing that I wanted to tell you about this soup is a lot of people, yes, let me go back, okay?
Go back.
I lose track of what I'm doing here. Okay, some people in the Italian not the wedding soup, the Italian meatball soup, put a California blend. Now, in my recipe book, in my cookbook, I have it with beets, but today I did it chicorina style, okay? But normally you would put this blend, the cauliflower, the broccoli, and the carrots. Now I do have carrots. So this would go in the soup also. And then if you wanted like a tomato, that's what I came over here for. If you wanted a tomato base soup, which you can do also, you just add Italian style diced tomatoes with, it's got garlic, basil, and oregano. Dump it in there. I'm not going to do that today because I didn't want a tomato base, I want a chicorina style. Okay? But you can absolutely add the tomatoes and it would make it just as delicious. So the point is, when you're in the kitchen, you just create it. You can create whatever you want, okay? And whatever you do, it's going to be delicious. It doesn't matter. Your family's going to love it. And if they're like my family, if they don't love it, they're going to tell you too. Luckily, I have a lot of good comments as opposed to bad. Chris had an idea. I think it was last week. He said, you should have a blooper show or a show of recipes that you hated and do them again. And so there have been a few in this series that we've done already that I thought, yeah, that one would be on it and that would be on it. There's about 5 or 6 things that I wasn't too happy about. But, okay, I have 3/4 of a cup of al ginevere. Going in!
So Dottie just commented that was a beautiful pie. Mackenzie just said, all looks delicious.
Thank you, Mackenzie.
And Vicky just said she agrees, that sounds like fun.
You gotta, talk about fun. We have fun every single week. For those of you out there that tune in every week, am I right? We just have fun here. We talk, we cook, we just have a blast. I have a blast every week. What's beeping now?
We sneak food.
And it's just a fun place to be on a Wednesday afternoon. And if you can't visit with us live on Wednesdays at 1, you just later on, Chris, when we're done here, he starts to edit the show usually by that evening, by Wednesday evening, he has it edited. And then it goes into number 38 this week, but it goes on our YouTube channel. And then that's it. Then you get to see anything you want, as many times as you want. And while you're there, like and subscribe. There you go.
So
Chris.
Dottie just said, blooper show would be a great idea.
And I hate to admit it, but I've had some bloopers. I'll tell you one right off the bat. I made a mandarin, let me see, it was a mandarin something cake. Mandarin lemon cake, maybe? Big fail. Terrible. Big fail. When I did my Chinese food episode, that's not something that I master I don't do it very well. The food tasted great. It didn't look like I wanted it to look. Everybody that ate it said it was delicious, and I believe them because they ate it. But it wasn't up to my standards. So if I ever do Oriental food again, I'm getting my sister here to do it in my kitchen, because she's a chef and she has mastered the art of Oriental cooking. She's great at it, and so I'll have her come on. I'd like my mom to come on and do her make a soup, or she could do her Italian sauce. Now look, when I do Italian sauce, I pick out my best favorite can. I cheat. Fed Up. Fast, easy, and delicious. Now, through the years, I've tried different brands, and I get them home and try them and go, not having that one. So I like the Hunt's brand. They're the 28, I think they're 28-ounce cans. They're great. They really kind of have that homey sort of a taste. And so I use the Hunt's.
So
spaghetti sauce.
Vicky just said sneaking food seems to me would be the best part.
Yes.
And then we have Angie Damiano watching.
Hi Angie, how are you, girl?
Mackenzie just said seeing you and family live on Wednesdays makes me feel like I'm back in Branson.
Well, Mackenzie, I am still waiting for you, girl. I know, this year has been so so weird, and plans have had to be changed. COVID just kind of changed the whole, like, surface of life,
Yeah.
basically.
So Vicky just said Oriental food is her jam.
You know what? And I know that, Vicky. And I think more Japanese than Chinese. Am I right about that? I think she loves Japanese food. And so, Chris, look at this soup.
And then
We are
Mackenzie
just
says she
about
loves Oriental food. We actually cook Oriental quite often.
Who's this?
Mackenzie.
Angie?
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie. Oh, I didn't know that, Mackenzie. I am not very good at it. I'll be the first one to admit it. I would like to get better at it. I am not very good at Chinese food. Growing up, we ate it all the time. But we go to the, New York, in Brooklyn, New York, there are a lot of great Oriental restaurants. And we had two favorites that we go to. And so we ate Chinese food like a lot. If we didn't eat fish on Friday, we did Chinese food. It was one of the two, and that was like the Friday night was a treat. And I love it. I mean, I loved it, but I just never. I don't really cook it in my kitchen a lot, at all. What am I? A lot at all. So I'm not very good at it. But my sister, on the other hand, like I said, is great at it.
So Vicky said if there's any style of food I'm good at, it's Japanese.
Really?
Just ask Brandon.
Okay.
And then Mackenzie said this year COVID-19 stopped her plan to live here in Branson.
Yes,
this year.
and that's what I was going to say. COVID changed everything. And so Mackenzie, you were supposed to be out here to live, and then COVID hit, and everybody just went, like stopped short. And then we had to say, okay, now what? Now what? Everything's now what? And so, life changed. But what do? Do you stop living, or do you just roll with the flow? Well, we're all rolling with the flow. We're rolling with masks on. That's how we're rolling with the flow. That's because that's what you got to do.
Well, most of us are wearing masks.
Most of us are wearing masks, and there are people that refuse to. And I don't want to go there because we're not going to talk about things that are going to make me. We're not going to talk about that. This is a happy show. It's a very happy show. We're not going to talk about things.
We have happy soup, we have happy
soup.
bread.
Look how nice and happy it
Bob
is.
Ross makes happy trees. We're good.
Okay, we are about 4 minutes. I'm even going to put 4 minutes in here to everything being done. Look at that. And how quick was that soup? That's crazy. Remember, you don't have to fry your meatballs. You don't have to do anything. You do have to take a little time to prep them. You want them about 1 inch. You prepare them like you would a big meatball or a meatloaf. And you drop them in and you poach the meatballs. And that's all you have to do. And look at that. That's a beautiful pot of soup. And that does look like the chikorita soup. Look at that. That I remember growing up as a kid. And everybody sat down and ate the meatballs first.
So Mackenzie just said she made garlic noodles with shrimp last night. It's P.F. Chang's version. She said it's a copycat recipe.
Yes.
She said she just follows the recipe. It's easy.
Really?
Yeah.
And you can, with a lot of the restaurants, you can pull up their actual recipes and, try them in your own home. Be adventurous in the kitchen, guys. And if something doesn't work out this time, that doesn't mean it's not going to work out the next time. Because then the next time you go, I'm not going to do that again. So I'll do this again. And it's fun. It's fun to create. It's fun to create. Now the holidays are coming, and families do a lot of cooking together. I know, gosh, in my family growing up, the holidays, it was like a production, like an assembly line production. Okay, you're doing this, we're doing this, we're going to do that, we're going to have salad, we're going to have antipasta, we're going to, and it was, by the time it was done, we could have opened a restaurant. And of course, everybody that showed up, we should have had a restaurant. We probably made a lot of money. We did have restaurants in Arizona.
I remember one Thanksgiving we had over 100 people in our house over the whole day. Yeah.
Wow! What the heck?
I don't
100
know.
people for Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Did I make enough food? Did we make enough food?
No, I mean, we had, like, no other household has, like, those warmer things. We had, like, pans on the counter.
Yes.
And through that whole entire day, that afternoon into the evening, I counted 100 people in and out of our house. Yeah.
Is everybody hearing that out there? Elizabeth said one of our Thanksgivings, we had over 100 people. It was kind of like people would come and then people would go, and then people would come and then people would go. But at the end of the day, we had 100 people for Thanksgiving. Wow. Was I tired?
Every Thanksgiving. I mean, most of that number was family, but we always had people in and out.
Thanksgivings have always been so busy for us that I probably didn't even pay attention to the droves of people that were coming in. So, you know, I didn't even, you know, think about it. But, you know, I always know by the end of Thanksgiving, I'm like, ready for bed. Okay.
Mackenzie
I'm
just
gonna
said,
finish my soup.
Mackenzie just said she remembers a wonderful Christmas dinner at your house.
Well, thank you, Mackenzie. You can come for this Christmas or Thanksgiving too. We're here.
Vicky just said, I can believe it, Grandma makes the best food.
Thank you, both of you. Thanks.
There's the happy dance.
That, oh my gosh, that is absolutely mouth-watering, delicious, perfect, beautiful, amazing. What else can I say?
Succulent, as a friend of ours would have
Succulent,
said.
Bert used to say. Okay, the only other thing that I'm going to do to my soup right now, and there's always more on the table, is, you know, you got to have a little Parmesan cheese and an Italian soup. Oh,
Mackenzie just said, from your lips to God's ears.
We have Courtney Lowry with us.
Hello,
Courtney is on.
Courtney.
Hello and welcome.
Thank you for joining us today. My gosh, we're almost done with my soup. Oh my gosh, this is the Italian meatball soup with really little meatballs. Now the only thing that I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to cut one of the meatballs open to make sure that we have a cooked meatball.
That looks good.
It's hot. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, that is absolutely delicious. All right, here it is. It's done. My soup is done. I'm going to turn this down. All right, so let's go back through. We had our little lemon mint spritzer, which I'm going to drink here in just a minute because I'm very thirsty. On my table, I have some butter for my bread, and I've got extra Parmesan. You can't have enough Parmesan cheese in an Italian soup. Okay, we've got my delicious meatball soup. We got homemade bread that's actually got Parmesan cheese in it, Italian seasoning, delicious bread right here. Let me put that right there.
So Dottie just said, hey Chris, where's your piece of meatball?
It's in the bowl. I'm going
Okay,
after it. Trust me.
and then our lemon ricotta pie. What do you think, guys?
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
Okay, so there you have it. I'm not even going to cut this. I want it to sit a minute. You guys, next week, right here. Let me see. Menu. Okay. Oh, we're going to make my fast, easy, and delicious broccoli cheese soup. And I decided now, what do I want on the side of that? So I'm going to make little veggie hero, like little round sandwiches with all vegetables and provolone cheese or mozzarella cheese. I haven't decided on the cheese yet. So you have a nice little sandwich on the side that you can also dip in the soup. And we're going to have pumpkin spice cupcakes. And we're going to have a new drink. It's called, it's a cranberry ginger sparkler. So, hey, don't miss next week. Let's serve up some soup. We love you guys. Order the cupcakes. You want cupcakes? Yeah, I can do cupcakes too. Order the cookbooks. You can tell Elizabeth right now. Or you can go to our website, mcnfedup.biz. Go to the cookbook store page. And you can have a cookbook and you can order them for whoever for Christmas. It's a great gift. They did an amazing job. They really did an amazing job on my cookbook. I'm very, very pleased with how it is, how it turned out.
So I have a feeling Vicki will be tuning in next week because a broccoli cheddar soup is her favorite soup.
Dottie Zarnowski says, I'll be there. And Mackenzie says, have a great day. Love you all and miss
Here
you.
you go, guys. Here's my soup. Bon appetit! Thank you for joining me. I love you guys. We'll see you next Wednesday. Bye-bye! Let's have some soup. Woo! Thank you for joining in today. We had our great menu with the Italian meatball soup, and we had the lemon ricotta pie, and then we had homemade bread and a delicious lemon mint drink that we still have some right here. And we had some of the lemon ricotta filling left, so I always tell you guys, don't waste it. And I made some cupcakes, and I'm gonna fill that middle up. Okay, we're gonna use that, and then we're gonna put a little bit of the confectioner's sugar on top, and then you've got another great dessert with the same filling that you used. Thank you all for tuning in, and hey, while you're here on YouTube, can you like and subscribe? We'd love that. We need 16 more people to hit our first 100 subscriber mark. We thank you all so much, and we love you guys, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Bye-bye.